Hi, how you doing? Well, my wife's been after me for quite some time to make a video of the final completed version of the boat that we are on. Uh, we worked about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months doing all kinds of projects, mostly cleaning and things. But anyway, so this is it. This is what I've come up with, and hope you like it. If you do, if you could hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button, and please subscribe if you have a chance. It doesn't cost you anything. No, I said before, no salesman's going to call. Nobody's going to send you stuff in the mail. It just helps us out. It tells YouTube that people are interested in what we're doing. And so that's all it really does. And hopefully you're interested. And if you are, just subscribe. So, anyway, hope you like this. We'll, uh, anyway, hope you like it. Here we go. You can see the baby ducks from earlier in the season have grown up. But there she is. She's a 1987 Carver 3607 aft cabin cruiser. We've had it for, well, just this season. This is the first season we've had it. Done quite a bit of work to it. It is in very good condition, 650 hours on the engines, but it needed a little TLC. So we've gone through and fixed up few little things I'll mention as we go through it. Right off the bat, you can see that we've replaced the spotlight up there. The old one wires were all wound around and around and around because it didn't have any stops. So apparently over the years, people have turned it around and twisted it and turned it upside down until the wires were so bad they just ripped right off the lamp, and I couldn't save it. They were wound so tight the insulation was all ruined. And so we bought a new one. I've installed a swivel on that anchor because it's a plow type anchor. And I had a problem with it in the sandbar. It wasn't holding. I swam down to see what was going on. It was laying on its side. It wasn't even attempting to dig in. So they said, I read they said that a swivel would help that. So we'll see. I haven't tested it yet. We also replaced these horns. The old ones worked when they wanted to, not when I needed them to. so, so we decided to replace those. We've done a lot of cleaning. We buffed the hull before it went to water, polishing, waxing, scrubbing, uh, working on the teak, the woodwork. You'll see when we go inside. Those teak steps are actually done, and they need another coat of teak oil. I guess it's been sitting out in the sun for quite a while now. We've been busy doing other things. The water in the spring when we put the boat in was where that white line is. You can see on the concrete. It's now, that white line is made by the pollen that was floating on the top of the water. It looks like paint, but it's not. It's now about 2 feet lower. When we first put the boat in the water, we had to step up 2 feet here to get in. Probably about where that line is right there. And now we just walk right on. They put this mat down to give you something to wipe off your sneakers and shoes. Try to keep the place tidy. I've had this pillow since about 20 years ago when we lived on a boat in Boston Harbor. Uh, I just sort of kept it around, but I think it's kind of nice having a boat. We've got a nice Very nice sound system. A couple of Bose speakers back here. We've added a couple of deck chairs. We added a cooler. We got this little folding table, which is kind of nice. It's about 3 feet long, maybe a foot and a half wide. It has 3 different levels. And so if you're sitting out here and you're having snacks or cocktails or whatever, you can set that up. It's kind of nice to have. And we've got a nice little beer fridge here. Keep things cool. Up on the fly bridge, this is the control panel that I put in for the new spotlight. See, I set it up so I had to cut the metal plate behind there. The old controls for the old light were in there, and I had to cut the plate, but I set it so it would save the word spotlight. Looked like maybe it was factory installed. Don't have a lot of electronics. We're on a lake, so we really don't need much. Just a little shot plotter type thing is good enough. I've got some supplies started to lay in for winterizing the boat. And one of the sound system speakers. This bench seat here actually makes into a bed. Pulls out, and if you don't have the bimini top, I suppose you can take the sun here, or I guess you could sleep up here or take a nap. That cardboard box contains piping and equipment, fittings, and so forth to replace the pressurized water system in the boat, which I postponed until next season. This is the woofer for the sound system. The current water system was installed in 1987 when it was made, and I've read that it had an expected lifespan of 15 years. So it's outlived its usefulness. We had a leak. You can't get parts for it anymore. You can't get fittings that fit. So I decided I'll just replace the whole thing. Install this little bell that we found aboard. Not sure why, but we thought it was kind of cool. Anyway, we bought all new furniture for the salon down here. Um, when we bought the boat, right there was a huge honking red sofa. It's a pull-out sofa, I think probably queen size, if not king size. And it blocked off all that storage space there you see in the wall. So we decided get these two swivel lounge chairs, recliners, and this pulls out into a bed. Probably fits about 1.5 adults, but it's relatively comfortable. And as you can see, it fit absolutely perfectly into that spot, almost like it was made for it. So that was really cool. Over here, this guy's been with me since the other boat too. I think he needs a good meal, or at least a stiff drink. I don't know. Anyway, we've got a little bar down here, a little storage for wine and alcoholic or any kind of beverages, I suppose. The lower helm will never be used by me on this lake, and I really think it was a waste of money. They almost all have it, and I really can't see anybody needing to use it unless you're out in some kind of a horrible ocean storm and you don't have a bimini top or an enclosure. Then you might want to use this. Otherwise, it's more of a pain in the neck because these controls actually move when you work the controls up top. So when you're working the controls up top, you have to use extra force because you're actually moving these levers, and it's very not all that great. We installed this 40-inch TV. I used a swivel type rack to give me some, uh, make it steady to hold it so it wouldn't tip over when we're cruising around. That is a 12-volt fan, and I couldn't figure out what it was for until I read the owner's manual. It's a defogger for the windshield. So the windshield, if you're using the lower helm and the windshield fogs up, it does have windshield wipers up there. Actually, there's a motor. There's windshield wipers, but again, something we probably never use. I guess it's good if you're cooking something smoky in the kitchen. It'll blow it around, I guess. But anyway, this silver stuff is just a bubble insulation that I put up here on the windshields because the boat actually faces west, and so afternoon the summer sun comes beating down there, and the previous owners decided to put black canvas, and that kind of makes things even hotter. So we try to eliminate some of that heat. We have two nice air conditioning, really good. One there, one goes under that seat, and then one is under this seat over here. And they've got a very modern, nice electronic control system, and really work very well. That one out there is new, and it even in 95 degrees days this summer, it kept this whole place really comfortable. We hardly ever even need the other one, but it's there if we do need it. The galley has a nice microwave. This is a 3-burner stove with an oven. My wife has taken up baking, which she never really did before, and it was not that I really need things, but anyway. Coffee maker, double sink. There's a trash bin under there which we don't really use. Cabinets, storage everywhere. There's storage up here. There's a drawer underneath the fridge. There's all this stuff here. There's drawers over there. There's a cabinet there. The boat is full of storage. This dinette converts into a double bed. Very comfortable. My daughter has slept in there. We come forward to the V berth. First, we got the head, electronic head, and this is called a wet head because it's also the shower. And my wife doesn't like that idea at all because everything gets wet, and she can't figure out how you can possibly take a shower and get the whole room wet. But anyway, they have electronic. The toilets have been upgraded to electronic macerator type flush units. This one was a real pain in the neck. It was leaking. Has paper gaskets in it, and the little paper gaskets were leaking, and then some other problems. And let's say I've learned how to take it out and put it back very efficiently and quickly because I've done it about 6 times. So it's finally doing fine, and we finally got it fixed up. This door closes over here so that you could, and there's a folding door there, so you can close the V-berth off entirely from this head out here. Or you can leave that door open and just shut that door. So that makes the whole thing into like an en suite, berth, which is kind of cool. I like the hardware they've used on this boat. Everything is nice and solid and stainless steel. Even these everything you see, the slide bolts, things like that, all nice and solid. Nice. Then they didn't cheap out on any of it, you know. The ankle locker is under here. It's all chain. We don't have any rope road. It's all chain. And we replaced the condensate water pump from the air conditioners. That pumps overboard just condensate water. And down there is the sump for the shower, the sink out here, and the other sink. And then all of those things, they pump into the forward holding tank, the folded sewer tank, which is under here. And I believe that's a 40-gallon tank. So we'll move out back here. So we look at the captain's quarters and the first mate's quarters. Anyway, it's a queen size bed. You got a escape hatch there if somebody has to get out in the night, I guess. Over there is they call it a vanity, but I use it kind of like as a little desk for video editing and things, if and when I ever get time to do it. Got about a 6'3" headroom down here, so it's pretty good. Lots of storage, again, lots of storage. Cabinets all down in here, down in there. But as you can see, it's not quite enough because we've still got this plastic thing and some things piled up here. There is a big closet with a light, which we didn't know was here until quite a while. And we got plenty of hanging closets, almost like two closets in there. The switches for the battery banks are in here. See, I've got them on both right now. It allows you. This boat does not have a generator. So what I do is when I go off shore power, I go out and I turn that. When we anchor, I turn that switch into either bank 1 or bank 2. And that way, the refrigerator keeps running. I didn't mention it's a dual voltage fridge. The refrigerator keeps running and lights will work and so forth. All the lights are 12 volt, a couple of line voltage ones. But if you should draw it down, which I did one time, and it was only 10 volts. I got a voltmeter up on the bridge, and it was down to 10 volts, and I had to switch over to the other bank to start the motors. But that's all. That's what you do. You're not allowed to stay overnight, anchor out overnight on this lake. So we don't really feel that the generator is needed, or even solar power. I thought about solar power, but you're only going to go out for the day, and like I said, you can't run the AC, but it's a lake. You can jump in the water. cool off. You don't have to. If it's a hot day, that's what you do anyway. So I don't really think it's necessary. Yeah, forward, the aft head, same electronic flush system as the forward one. Again, got some nice storage in here. Got this was a big selling point right here. You have a tub, have a nice, a good sized tub. It's actually, that's a pretty decent sized tub for a boat. The only issue that we have at this point was the water heat is no good. Apparently, somebody didn't winterize it correctly or whatever. It's leaking like a sieve. So, what I'm planning to do someday is replace it. However, we really don't find that we need it. We're we're very close proximity to the clubhouse where there's nice showers and facilities over there, and I like a nice long hot shower. So we really haven't used it. And the other issue is under the bed back there. There are two 98-gallon fresh water tanks and one 30-gallon sewer tank, which means the toilet and the sink, and if you use the tub, all that water goes into the 30-gallon tank. Someone along the line, I'm not sure if it was done at the factory or if it was done by someone, previous owner somewhere. It looks like it was done professionally anyway. They converted one of the 98-gallon water tanks to a sewer tank, to the black water tank. So now I've got 128 gallons of black water, which I guess would allow you to take showers and baths and so forth. And maybe that's why it was done. And you got 98 gallons of fresh water, which, again, you can't stay overnight, so you're on the dock every night anyway, and the water's right here, so you can fill the tank up whenever you want, and it's really not a big deal. We find it very, very comfortable. We are in a spot that we're not in the open lake, so we don't rock and roll much. We're protected from the weather. The dock is concrete because it also serves as the travel lift road, or whatever you call it, to drive the travel lift out on it, and that's what so it's solid. It's not floating dock or a wooden dock or something like that. It's beautiful concrete. And the pump out station, again, going back to the lovely topic of sewerage, the pump out station is got a long enough hose to reach the boat, so we don't even have to move the boat to pump out the tank, which is beautiful. A lot of times, a lot of people, you got, the tanks are full, we got to move the boat. It's a pain in the neck. So we are very, very lucky to have this spot. Pull the car up right in front, and we're allowed to have a picnic table and a fire ring or whatever out there if we so choose. We haven't gotten to that. We'll see maybe next season. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can tell you. As far as enjoying living aboard, I love it. I did it for 10 years, year-round in Boston Harbor, winter, summer. I should say we did it. And it was fabulous. We used to cover the boat with clear shrink wrap. We had a frame called Carver Clamp. There's a company that makes clamping system you can take 3/4 inch EMT and create a frame that goes over the boat, clamps to the rails and so forth. And they used to shrink wrap it with clear shrink wrap. They had a little screen door type thing on the back deck, and we put our Christmas tree up there, and maybe someday I'll stick some videos of that on YouTube. It was a lot of fun. Sit out there in the snow, but it was great. Other than that, I think that's about it. Oh, we did we did put up that little coat rack too. Trying to think of what else we may have done. Oh, I replaced the well, there's another pump. Oh, fresh water pump. The fresh water pump out in the bedroom back there. I replaced that, and I did raw water impeller on the port engine. That was shot. So I think that's about it. So if you've enjoyed this, we got a lot more stuff coming up, and if you can subscribe, and if you got any questions, if you want to know what living aboard a boat is like or anything at all, please, go into the comments thing and drop us a line. We haven't had too many comments, so at this point, I'll get back to you. And I'm hoping that some of you would like to subscribe because that's what we're really trying to do. And we don't have that many subscribers yet. We're trying to build it up. And I got a lot of things going. We're heading south in a few weeks, and we will be starting up some information on people who are expats or would like to be expats or are considering retiring to another country. Um, I've done it. We've been there for, I don't know now, 15 years or something. And so we're pretty familiar with how it works and all that stuff. So again, subscribe if you could. Hit that like button. Just a thumbs up thing. What is it, like that? I guess like that. Yeah, and that would be really great. And give us a comment or two if there's something else you want to know. I haven't dealt with the engines, and I haven't shown you that, but I've got those on another video when we had the floor up. They are right beneath the salon here, so someday I'll get that on there, and we'll go from there.